Life is a journey. It have its turns, twists and turns, and most of the time it is unpredictable. I can share this. When I was in my home country, Tanzania, East Africa, I was living in Mwanza while I was in a government as anti-corruption officer in Mwanza region. Around that area where I was living in Bwiru, I could see fishermen families, and I was wondering what is going on. Like, you cannot see a father in the family, but you see a mother is suffering with the kids. And most of the time they don't have food. I just say to myself, I'm getting salary from the government, so what I'm gonna do, every end of the month, I'm gonna take part of my salary and I'm gonna cook for these kids. I'm gonna teach them to be good kids in the community. Guess what? The first day, 54 kids, they came over just around at my property. And I remember it was May 10, 2016. I was there. I didn't have even a dream to come to America. As I said before, life is a journey. Thank you so much. So I'm not alone. This is my team. We are just starting and we are opening a door for volunteering. Even those who say yes to give a speech, to do something today. Dr. Dorothea is there, Dr. Ann, Alice, David is here, and everybody is here. You are watching a birth of Flying Angels of Hope. And why flying? I'm a product of Hope Link in Bellevue and Bellevue and Redmond. Hope Link, for me, I decided, okay, I can have a non-profit which says Flying Angels of Hope, because it's not about Washington. With the time, we'll go global. So that's a vision. And say, I'm so thankful. Please say something before you go.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much for coming today. We really appreciate you being here. And I just wanted to say, if you guys want to volunteer or be involved more than you are today, we would really appreciate your help. And we could always use more people to help the elderly who are alone. And we're just wanting to expand the help that we're giving to some of our elderly clients and people who don't have the money to be able to afford it, people who just need companionship. So you guys would be of assistance to us like that. And yeah, we'll reach out with more information on it. So thank you so much for coming and being here today.
Okay, John, welcome.
Hi, everybody. I'm happy that we are here today. And it is an opportunity that all of us have to help those who are in need. Once in a while, when you are able, help where you can. A time will come when you'll say, I wish I did it. Before you say that, why don't you do something? So ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Let's work together.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. In 2017, I went to Europe. In 2018, I came to America, and I went back to Africa. But my passion to help others, it was still there. If it is within you, you cannot fake it. It's just, it sticks with you. And later on, when I decided to migrate to America, okay, so coming from the government, and now I'm in a healthcare industry, I'm a caregiver in adult family home. Then after a few months, I started working one-on-one in Bellevue. And guess what? The journey, as I said, it have twists and turns.
Our next speaker is David Otwell. And David is a very interesting man. And his journey is a very powerful reminder that purpose does not retire. He is a leader, a creative person, and someone who is deeply committed to empowering others. His story is one of the resilience, growth, and an impact in our community. So if we could all put our hands together for David, I would all appreciate you.
I want to talk about safety. And I know that when I was driving here today, I recognized that this is a very difficult topic, and that I would be taking on one of the harder things to discuss, especially with people that I may not know or may not know your history, what's gone on in your past. Domestic violence comes in a lot of forms. It could be physical, it could be control, it could be very subtle in many ways. And it's very difficult to put a label on that because we go through life like I did in my life, just with a certain way of looking at myself. Who am I? What am I? How do I see myself? And do I see value in that person? And where we've had that value crushed out of us, we give in to letting go of our safety and security. And I want to just tell a little story, even though I am not a survivor of domestic violence. Nothing like that has happened to me. I told Violet a story about something that did happen to me that she felt would resonate very well in this context, because my story of terror was 3 years ago. I was told that I had less than 6 months to live. And that was my own body doing something terrible to me, that was going to take me out in a heartbeat. When I started to tell people, and this is part of what I want to convey, is tell people what's going on, what's happening, share. Don't do this alone. I faced something that was quite terrifying and I thought would be the end of me. But when I started to tell people, out of the woodwork came clients, friends, family, and I couldn't believe it. They would tell me the impact I had on their lives in a way that went far beyond anything I would have ever allowed myself to believe. I would not allow myself to believe that I could have that kind of impact on other people. And that was my own insecurities, my own colored glasses that would not let me understand that I had value to other people. And they told me that. So what happened to me was I was diagnosed with a very dangerous and deadly aneurysm, which is for those who don't know what an aneurysm is, it's something that can kill you instantly. It's in the brain. It's a blood vessel that will explode and kill you. And I was told that I had very little time. When you start to tell people that, and people who care about you, they came out of the woodwork and started to tell me, I faced something terrible. And this is something that I say, for a person experiencing domestic violence, loneliness, isolation, any of those kind of things, reach out. There is somebody out there who can lift you up. These people came to my aid spiritually and psychologically and made me face something that was so terrifying to me with no fear. By the time I got there, I felt like, my God, this aneurysm was a gift. I was going to go the rest of my life oblivious. And so it was a gift. It woke me up to the fact that I've been more successful personally in a way that was meaningful to me than I ever would have imagined, because I reached out and got help. In the same way that somebody experiencing, pain in a relationship, reach out, get help. The beauty of that was the gift. The lesson, and this is what I want to convey, is say something. If you see it, if you hear it, if you're experiencing it, say something. You have no idea. And Violet, you are going to touch so many lives through this. And you won't even know the full extent of the impact that you will have with this. Say something, because when you say something, that allowed me to face something that was so horrifying to me that I honestly faced surgery with a smile, knowing that if I went to go meet God now, that I've lived the life that I was meant to live, and I was very, very happy. Didn't mean that I wasn't afraid of being not me after somebody's playing around in my head, but the idea is, say something, because you don't know the impact you will have on somebody else. I had no idea. And so, Violet, I'm going to say something to you. This is amazing. Thank you. This is absolutely amazing. And I want to just sum up. There are resources out there, whether it's, have a friend, make sure you say something, have that person you can connect with. There's domestic violence resources, hotline, and there's also just ways of looking at it. And when I look at empowerment, I became empowered through the support of others around me in that moment. Find that source of empowerment. Whether you don't have it yourself now, they will help you. We are all shining diamonds, and most of us don't even know it. So when you see somebody do something great, let them know. Tell them. Thank you.
I was undergoing trauma those days. My kids were kidnapped. They were in Africa. I was undergoing domestic violence in my head, like, how can I get my kids back? They were kidnapped in Bellevue. But guess what? This is my story, but it's not my client's story. So I was not telling her, no, I'm here, it's for you. And so she didn't know anything about what I'm undergoing. Full smile on my face every day, because when you are taking care of a client, you have to be professional. You keep your private struggle private, and that's what happened. Life is short. My client passed away just after 3 months of me helping her. Guess what? She changed my life. That grieving, it was not easy for me. Yes, I have seen residents passing on my hands, but that mother and her family, it's beyond my explanation.
We are going to welcome our second speaker, who is Dr. Ann Okpara. She is a woman whose life reflects faith in action, compassion in service, and excellence in everything she does. Truly, I'm not exaggerating on this. She is a healer, an educator, and a pillar in her own community. She represents what it truly means to live a purposeful life. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Dr. Ann.
I am here as a friend and as a sister to Violet, who we met 6 years ago. Okay. All right. And the way we met was very interesting, as she said. And it was, I didn't orchestrate, it was God orchestrated. The church I belonged to at that point, well, even today, decided to have a food bank during COVID, when everything was shut down and whatnot. So that is how we met. And even after that, one day I was home, had the day off. I was laying in bed, and a voice just told me, you need to get up, you need to go see Violet. And in our tradition, you don't go empty-handed. So I stopped somewhere to get a few things, and a friend of mine called me and asked me, what are you doing today? And I said, oh, I'm going to see this lady, blah, blah, blah. Can I join? Yeah, sure, come. And then she goes, so, where are you? And I said, oh, I'm here, I'm doing this, that, and the other. And she said, oh, okay, I can do this, this, and that. And I said, okay, fine. And we went. I believe in God. I believe in faith. I believe in miracles. We get there, and Violet tells me that they woke up that morning, they had nothing to eat, and they wanted to teach their children faith. And they did their Bible study, they did their devotion, and they told their children, the Lord will provide. A few hours later, my friend and I drive up in the driveway. We found them doing some work. We came and we said, hey, we have a few things in the car. They get the things out of the car, and the kids, I mean, I have boys, so I was like, okay, she has 2 girls and a boy, what would they like? And my boys loved hot dogs, so I said, let me get some hot dogs for the kids and some ice cream and whatever else. And when she told us that story of the devotion in the morning and how they taught their children that the Lord will provide, and He actually did, it was amazing. It was amazing. Anyway, so she asked me to talk, to speak, not to tell you that was a bonus, but to encourage us. And I have a story, though it's not mine. Mine is from the Bible. 2 Kings chapter 7, verse 3 and 4. There were 4 lepers. There was famine in Israel at that time. Elisha was a prophet. Elisha, yeah. He was the prophet at that time. And there were 4 lepers who had been outcasts. Those of you who know the Bible, lepers at those days used to be sent out of the city, and they would have bells or chimes that would chime, or they would walk around saying unclean, so that nobody comes near them, right? So these 4 lepers were starving as everybody else during that time. And they called themselves to a meeting and they said, guys, if we stay here, we're going to die. If we go into the city, we will die. But the Syrian army was attacking Israel. But if we go to the enemy camp, they may save us or we may die. But the sure thing is they were going to die. So they decided, let us go to the Syrian camp, right? And what were they going to look for? Food. So as they are going, making the noise unclean and hitting the chimes and everything, the Syrian army heard them coming, but they thought they had chariots and horses, and they ran off. They abandoned their camp, right? When the 4 lepers got there, they found the enemy camp deserted. They went into the first tent. They found food, they found drink, they found gold, they found silver, they found cloth. But why did the lepers go? Because they were hungry. What took them to the enemy camp was looking for food. They were looking for something to eat. But here they are. They not only found food, they found drink, they found gold, they found silver, they found cloth. Right? They ate to their fill, they drank to their fill, they took the gold, the silver, and the cloth, and they hid it. They went to the second camp and the same thing. And then they realized, if whatever we are doing is not right, we need to let the other people know. Because remember, there was a famine in the land. So they went back to the gates of Samaria to let them know that the enemy camp is empty and it is full of food, it is full of drink, it is full of gold, silver, and cloth. And the famine was no more because that happened. I tell you that story to say this. When we came, I'm looking around and majority of us are immigrants. When we came from wherever we came from, we were coming to the land of opportunity, right? We were coming because We knew if we stayed there, we would not make it in life. We wanted something better for ourselves, for our children, for our families, right? So we came over, right? We come here and we realize we have to work hard for what we do. And we come here and we are told, oh, you have to do caregiving. All of us go do caregiving. Some who are brave enough and call themselves into a meeting and they decide, if we stay in caregiving, we will either die or not prosper or not ABCD. So they venture out. They take a risk. The lepers took a risk, right? And they found more than what they were looking for. They were looking for food. They found gold, silver, drink, cloth, right? So when you want more for yourself, for your family, you take a risk. But before you take a risk, Violet said one thing, that her friend Alice started a non-profit, so she decided to launch. But I can tell you it was launched 3 years ago, right? You're just bringing it to the world now, right? Okay. Before you started your non-profit, ulijiita kwa kamkutano, you called yourself in a meeting and said, if I stay in caregiving, it will not prosper. Oh, the light is not following me. Oh. If I stay in caregiving, I am not going to prosper. So you called yourself to a meeting, you decided this, that, I am stepping out in faith. And what else have you done? You have called us to tell us what you have done, right? So good news, when you step out in faith and good things happen, you share the good news. You encourage each other. We all move. We are not climbing a mountain that has a peak. This mountain has a flat top. There is space for all of us. There is space for all of us. Don't go up alone. Carry your people. Carry your friends. Carry your enemies also. Because I can assure you, your enemies are your greatest cheerleaders. Because they will be looking to see what you've done, what you haven't done. Huh? They will be looking. So carry everybody with you. Don't leave anybody behind. And I am telling you, when you share what you're doing, the success you're having, when you share your story, you're encouraging somebody else. Right? And again, it is a flat mountaintop. There is space for us all at the top. So please, let us support each other. Let us support each other. Thank you, Violet, for allowing us to come and support you.
I believe there's a lot of nonprofit, but Violet, you came out and they can never too much help. Have you ever been in a position of saying this is too much? Like this is too much help? No, there can never be too much help. So guys, please share the vision of our sister. Donate, tell somebody. It doesn't matter how many people are doing it. It doesn't matter what it is. Just share, talk about it, encourage one another, and let us see the amazing things that God will do in our lives as we do that. So we will be now welcoming the violin. The violin has been warmed well enough. So I am going to welcome Rejoice to, should I say sing? I don't know. What does the violin do? It plays, right? Yes. So let us welcome Rejoice. Rejoice, welcome.
What inspired me was I'm trying to I'm trying to play for someone or something, and I'm trying to get rid of the nervousness that I have sometimes. Yeah.
don't waste your pain. For me, grieving, and mind you, when I was helping this client, I was still helping those kids in Africa, 250. When my client passed away, I said to my soul, I need to do something to honor this journey. To honor, like, what can I do? Then I say, I know how powerful I am is a matter of time. When I get my kids back to America with my status, God is above and beyond. I got help from a non-profit called HopeLink in Bellevue. My story is long, but HopeLink, I knew HopeLink out of Bellevue School District. They connected me to HopeLink. They connected my family to HopeLink before they were kidnapped. And when they were kidnapped, I was alone. That's why I was taking care of my client. But even when I was alone, after this serious domestic violence of my children being kidnapped, it's when HopeLink, they say, Violet, we have your back. You stay in our shelter. Stay here in Redmond. Do you know how much I was paying? $100.95 every month. Where in America you can pay that amount?
Your body holds on to what you have been through, but it also has an extraordinary ability to recover and heal. So today, I want to make hope practical in a different way, something you can actually feel in your bodies. Even though domestic violence survivors and the elderly may have very different life experiences, the body often responds in similar ways. Both groups often experience chronic stress in the body, poor sleep, and reduced movement, isolation, and sometimes a loss of control over their body and environment. And what this means is the path to healing can also overlap. So give me a nod if any of these sound familiar. You feel tired in your body and you can't sleep. Your body always feels tight or tense. You avoid movement because it feels uncomfortable. You feel stiff when you wake up. Your balance doesn't feel as steady. You feel on edge even when things are calm. Is that anybody? Yeah? Okay, good. So these aren't random. These are patterns your body has learned to survive. And your body is now asking you for support. So those are all ways your body is asking for support. So I'm not sure if any of you are all familiar with physical therapy, but physical therapists or physical therapy, in this profession, we don't just work on injuries, we help the body feel safe again to function. So today I have 3 practical tools that I would like to share with you all. And here's number 1, breathing. It's one of the fastest ways to calm your nervous system with your breath. Inhale through your nose and you take a longer exhale. That longer exhale tells your body when you're safe. So we're going to do a practice here. Go ahead and take a deep breath in, everybody. And hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, and exhale slowly and long. And so when you do these things, the key is checking in with your body. You will never really know what it's doing for you if you don't start to be conscious and aware of the difference it makes. And so number 2, these are called movement snacks. These are small movements throughout your day that you use. You don't really need, I don't want to say, I did write down you don't need a workout, but that's not true. We should work out and we should exercise our bodies. But in this context, you need something consistent. So a small movement snack would look like a 5 to 10 minute walk throughout the day. It also can encompass shoulder rolls, just simply rolling your shoulders forward, rolling them backwards, neck circles, ankle circles, getting up to stand and not sitting so much. Because if you think about it, we're sitting all the time. We're sitting now, which is appropriate, We're sitting when we're driving. We're sitting when we're working at the desk all day, 8 hours, 10 hours. It's really important to make sure you guys are getting up and moving your body, even if it's for 5-10 seconds. Small movement done daily is more powerful than doing nothing all week and then trying to do everything at once. That's how you end up with injuries a lot of times. And so number 3, you want to protect your sleep window. Give your body a predictable time to rest. Go to bed around the same time or practice dimming the lights before bed. These things teach your body when it's safe to shut down. And I have a quick question. How many of you have ever felt exhausted but still couldn't fall asleep? Anybody? See, we all have something in common. But it's not that you're necessarily doing something wrong. It's that your body is still in an alert mode. But it's our jobs to be conscious and aware and do like the small movement snacks or getting up to walk to make a difference in our bodies. But the key is you have to be conscious. If you're just moving all day, and you're not taking a breath, you're never going to notice. Like a lot of times with our shoulders, our traps, these back here is our trap area. So mostly everybody in here is probably holding tension in that same area. If I were to do a test on you, you would probably test positive because we are all holding life stress tension in our trapezius muscles. So one more exercise to do for that or awareness practice would be to just simply check in with your shoulders. When you check in, you just, you're walking, whatever, and you stop for a minute and you check in with your shoulders. If they're up high, that's wrong. They should be down and back. Down and back. Now, don't just hold in that position. That gets uncomfortable, but you want a nice, comfortable position when they're down and back. Okay? So those trapezius muscles, you just want to check in throughout the day. See if they're uptight like this, make a change. Okay, so in closing, if you take anything from today, let it be this. Your body is still responding. It's still adapting. It is not too late to feel better than what you do right now. Start small. Breathe a little slower. Move a little more. And protect your rest. This is hope in real life. And remember, the body, my body, your body, it always wants to be well.
Be thankful for anything which is happening in your life. It is an investment. I'm so thankful for God to connect me to HopeLink. It helped me to save money and to find exposure. I have my HCA, my CNA, now I started working one-on-one. I will never forget HopeLink. And because it is a journey, I say one day I will honor my client, but also I will honor HopeLink. That's when I say, okay, I'm gonna start a non-profit. And I say this, it's like a dream. It's when you say with your mouth, and guess what? In my speech, when I gave a speech as a client at HopeLink, I told them, I'm gonna start a non-profit here in Bellevue. And I will start a home care here in Bellevue to help more people. And this is what happened. Be such amazing touch to other people who need those kind of assistance. Because if I get help from HopeLink, now I'm the one to help others. Those who are undergoing domestic violence, on how I can help those mothers who are suffering with mental health issues because of trauma or whatever. I didn't allow that pain to define of me, of who I am. Like, it happened. It happened. And I'm even now, this is it's a 5th year. I'm still in court with my ex. It is domestic violence, and it affects our finance and everything. But everything which happens to you, take it as a positive thing. It is an investment. Take all those abusive words and everything, turn them to be stones when you build that fortress. You build a success for yourself, for your kids, and build legacy. That's why I'm here to say this non-profit, it is coming from a heart of service. And when you save, you get more.
So our next speaker is Alice. She is a very interesting lady. She's very inspiring. She has been through so much, but she does not look like it. She is going to tell us a little bit more about her journey and how she came in contact with Violet, and and a few more things in details. I do not want to ruin it, so can we all put our hands together for this amazing woman?
First of all, I want to thank you all for being here tonight and for honoring our Violet's invite. Thank you. Thank you for coming. I want to thank my sister Violet. Namwitanga. I call her Dada. Now I'm switching to Swahili. Lord. I call her Dada. And from the day that I met Violet, I used to see her on social media, and I had read a little bit about her story. And then one day I had tried requesting on her Facebook, and she hadn't responded. So I used to look for her number, and I was like, I need to speak to this lady because her story resonated so much with my story. And then when I finally got the number, we met, and believe it or not, we spoke for like 5 hours. We talked and talked, and I was like, these stories can't end today. So we're gonna plan and meet another day. And I did invite her. I told her about my foundation that I was launching, and I did invite her to come and be a guest speaker. And she was like, of course, I'll come and do that. And that's when she told me she also has a foundation that she's had for 3 years. And I said, why are you sitting on it? Bring it out here. We need to know what you do. And that's how today is happening. But she's been having it, but that's how the conversation of having this event today started. Before I carry on, I want us to do a simple exercise. I want all of us to close our eyes. Close your eyes and have some, breathing in and out. I want you to forget about the titles that you have. Forget about who you are for a minute and just think about who you are as a human being, the things that you have carried in your life or even carrying right now. Think about you being in this room or somewhere else, or you've been in a room whereby you're surrounded by music, laughter, people, but you have felt lonely. I'm that lady who, at one point, I would be around people, surrounded by people, but I was lonely. So I feel you today. If you're here and you're going through something, and you're here, you're looking at all of us, and you look at everybody's looking pretty, handsome, and you're wondering, God, when are you gonna come through? Or when will this end? I wanna tell you that we see you, we feel you, and there is hope. Open your eyes. Thank you. So thank you. My name is Alice Wamburi. I'm a mother of 2 boys, Rayson and Dylan, a 13-year-old and an 11-year-old. And that's my greatest, that I say I work in corporate. Those are my bosses. So that's my greatest job that that's my corporate work that I do. Above that, I'm originally from Kenya, and I'm a thriver of domestic violence. When people see me, they look at me, they like what they see today, but nobody knows the journey that this lady here looking all beautiful and smiling has been through. And I want to encourage someone who is here, and even the ones who are watching us, that no matter what you're going through, there's hope. All you need to go is wake up every day and purpose to live. I grew up in a home, and I like repeating this. I grew up in a very wealthy home. I didn't lack for nothing, but I grew up in a home where there was poverty of peace. What do I mean when I say poverty of peace? A lot of us are in homes. You have big cars, you have careers, but things are not okay. Maybe you're in a home where your marriage is not working, but you wake up every day, you put your suit on, and you go work and you do what you have to do in this life. But inside, you're broken. So I lived in that home. There was a lot of financial abuse. Not that we didn't have the finances, but the finances were there. But we never felt like the finances were there, if you know what I mean, because my mom was a stay-at-home mother. There was a lot of emotional abuse. There was a lot of I remember the first abuse that I experienced was the people who were taking care of me when I was a young little girl. And so I was forced to stay silent for the longest. And so I grew up being silent. And we have those kids here who are growing up in homes. Their voice are not being heard. They're growing up in homes where they can see mommy and daddy arguing. And even if they're not, like my father was never a violent man, but my father was a polygamous man. And I don't care how many times people keep saying that polygamy works, polygamy hurts. It doesn't work, it hurts. There is one person who is not going to be happy fully. So I'm not against it, but all I'll say is one person or one family or some kids will not fully be happy. And so I grew up in that kind of a home, went to good schools, was taken to London when I finished high school, was given the best education, but still I was broken. And then I got married and got involved in a marriage that was very abusive physically, financially, emotionally, psychologically. I've been told everything. And at one point, a lady who loved to do her hair, do her nails and everything, I had to go to a barber shop, cut my hair, stop doing my nails, and I got lost somewhere. I couldn't be on Facebook. I didn't have a phone. I got disconnected with the world. And I see a lot of people asking people, how did you get to that place? Even me, I can't be able to tell you how I got to that place, but you can get to that place very easily. And the people surrounding me, because I would wake up every morning and be smiling. I would go home to my parents after a night of fighting all night, and we'll go, there's a function, and I'll be there smiling with my baby. So nobody ever thought what I was going through because I showed up every day. And that's what is happening up even today. Like the whole of this month, we have seen a lot of femicide. All these men killing women and all these women who are committing suicide, when you see them, they don't look like they're having something. But they wake up every day and you show up because that's what we have been taught. Abuse has been normalized for us. So you wake up every day, do your makeup. If it's men, you put your suit on and go face the world. But when people come home, if the walls could talk, they will talk because that's where everything is happening. So I was in that marriage, and I remember I left when my son was 1 year and 3 months. And it took a lady, and this is what I keep saying. If you have a friend, either a man or a woman, and you can see and you can tell things are not right, sometimes don't wait for us to get out of those places. I didn't know how to get out of it. I was so tired that I would wake up every day and just stare at the wall because I was deep in my depression and everything. But it took one lady telling me, you need to get out. Domestic abuse is one of those topics as a society we're not willing to talk about it. Because if it doesn't happen into your home, you don't want to know what's going on. But guess what? That brother that you have and you love might be an abusive husband to someone. That sister that you really love, and she's a very good sister, she might be an abusive person to the husband. So we have to start normalizing having these conversations. If I come to you and I tell you that my marriage is having issues, I'm being battered and I'm doing, please find me a solution. There's this thing people keep saying, it has to come from them for them to want to leave. Some of us, it will never come from us. We are so used to these abusive people, the trauma bonding, that you can never leave. But keep coming. Keep talking to me. Keep encouraging me. Keep taking me to places until that day when I'll be able to leave. I left 7 times. But the 7th time I left completely. And tell your story, because every time, the reason why all these things are going, people are ashamed of your story. You cannot shame me because of my story. I own my story. I lived that story. So if you're here and you have a story, speak it. Do not be silenced into secrecy. Because whatever you walk with thinking is a real secret, it will keep you in those places. Now, nobody can tell me about abuse. I've lived it. I have survived it. Do I believe in marriage? Yes. Do I believe that I'll walk down the aisle again and get married? Yes. But before I get married, I'll be one person who has worked on me. Because the reason why my marriage didn't work is because my ex-husband found a very broken girl. I walked into a marriage, a broken woman, but I didn't know. And I also married to a broken man. I have worked on myself. I have worked on what made my marriage end. Has the other partner worked on what made the marriage end? And we have to own. We can't keep blaming men are dogs, sons of Pharaoh, no. We can't keep saying women are toxic. When women get empowered, we keep saying women are becoming toxic. Women, once they get empowered, they don't listen. There's nothing wrong with women and men. The problem is people are meeting when they are broken. The worst thing you can do is start a home when you're broken, because that home will never become a home. So tonight, the reason why we're here is because this foundation, for it to run, it needs money. All this decor and everything that's going on needed money. For me, I always say, if you believe in her cause, what do? You support. If you're able to support financially, and which we're gonna do today, we do that. If there's something that you're good at, maybe you're good at decor. If you're hosting an event, come bless that event with your decor. Whatever you're good at, because you're blessed with something, come give it. So tonight, I want us to bless Violet. I don't know how we're gonna do this. Come on, Violet. And me. And me and Violet, we will be having a podcast very soon. And our podcast is going to be raw and candid. So if you're coming to listen to things from the book, that will be the wrong podcast. Ours will be what we have been through, what we know, because I think I have read books, but what has resonated with me most is when I hear people telling their stories from what they have been through. Because then I'm learning from, they know what they went through. So when we talk about domestic violence, we have been there, we have done that, we got a t-shirt for it. So we know. So we'll be holding a podcast, and we're asking if you have something, and I'm calling, if you're a survivor, a thriver, come, let's talk, so that someone who is still stuck in that space, who is thinking that they can never be able to leave, when they look at us, when they hear you, they know there is hope. Above all, let's normalize therapy. Let's normalize going for counseling. Let's normalize taking care of our mental health. And when someone tells you, I can kill you, I can stab you, I can do this, don't say that, oh, that's my husband, I don't think he can do it. Oh, that's my wife, I don't think he can do it. Believe you me, they have thought about it, they have dreamt with it, now they're voicing it out. They're just waiting for the day when they will actually do it. If someone comes to you and tells you, this is what is going on, please cover them. Because another thing that has made us not be able to leave these spaces is the stigma from the society, the stigma from friends. You're afraid people talking about your story. But guess what? I would rather they talk about it and I'm alive. They talked about it and I'm alive. And now they're not the ones who talk about it. I tell it. And I tell it from my point of truth. So let's normalize holding people's space.
The impact is when you help somebody who is undergoing domestic violence, you are not wasting, you are not trashing your resources, you are building a community. Now HopeLink, they are proud of me as I'm proud of them, because now it's a multiplier effect, I'm helping other people. So when you are investing, when you are giving, when you are donating to help any cause at Flying Angels of Hope, you are investing into legacy of somebody. You are rescuing children who are in those domestic violence survivors. Now we need them to thrive because we have youth services on how they can be stable with their vision, no matter what.
If daddy decided to do this, if mom decided, because it's both sides. Parents, they can just run to be something else. But it is not something to define the future of the kids. I'm a thriver now of domestic violence. I'm writing. Now my story is in all over, in books, in something. And I'm so happy because I have people who are transformed because I say yes to what is building me and not what is destroying me. So I'm so thankful for this journey. It is worth traveling. It is really fulfilling to see the smile into somebody whose eyes was covered with tears. I'm so thankful because God sometimes is allowing to allow us to cry, but those tears, they are cleaning our vision.
We have my daughter, her name is Abigail, was supposed to be here and deliver a poetry, but she's not here, she's not feeling well. So I'm gonna give Fia, she's a mother, she's my friend, she's a mother. She makes sure things are happening, yeah.
I'm looking at the poetry and I'm already like feeling it. There's like a heartbeat to this. It's not just a poem, but it's a meaningful poem that I am sure it was written from the heart. And so let's begin. A miracle called hope. There was a time when all was lost, when fear was loud and shadows crossed. But even in the darkest night, God held us close and gave us light. A mother's heart, so strong and so true, fought every battle just to bring us to you. Across the seas, through endless miles, she carried hope and wiped our tears with smiles. He sent his people, one by one, to stand with us, to help, to run. And so many, kind and brave, you were the angels God sent our way. They came as friends, they stayed as family. They lifted us and held us so gently. When we had nothing left to give, they helped us know we could live. Today we stand, not by our might, but by His grace, His love, His light. He turned our pain, He changed our song, and proved that hope does right what's wrong. Flying angels of hope is born from every prayer, from every storm. A name that came, a dream that grew, to help others find what we found through you. So let the world now hear and see that angels walk among us, yes, in you and me. Be the hope, be the hand, be the reason someone can stand.
Thank you so much for that amazing poem. Thank you so much, Violet. I believe this was written by your daughter. That shows the type of human beings you're raising. For them to be able to pour out such amazing words, it tells a story of what an amazing mother you are. And you're doing a great job. You're raising children that will make a difference in this world. Kudos to you, Mama. And thank you so much for our narrator. That poem was powerful. It touched us.
Before I'm giving a speech, my son will be playing a guitar, and there are some words I have to share, especially for those who have undergone domestic violence. If we are not aware, hope meaning hold on, pain ends. Hold on, pain ends, no matter what. When you try to wrap up your head, still you still get lost. Just remember, you are unique and precious. When hope calls your name, just say with me, one more time, one more time. I need a divine touch, one more time. This is a song I composed when I was in school, when I was a teenager. One more time. And this reminds me, domestic violence is not only about therapy. There are something only God can do. We cannot deny there is a higher power more than human power. Like for me, having my children back in this soil, United States of America, is a miracle of no human being could do. God is above, beyond everything. No migration, no what, nothing will stop miracles from God. So we're gonna sing one stanza and the chorus one more time. We have come in your presence one more time. No one else in this world is like you. Lord, oh, worthy to receive honor and glory. Lord, we need your divine touch one more time. One more time, one more time. Lord, we need your divine touch one more time. One more time, one more time. Lord, we need your divine touch one more time. No place to lay our heavy burdens. No one on earth can give us peace. As we walk in this world, precious Jesus, Lord, I need your divine touch one more time. One more time, one more time. Lord, I need your divine touch one more time. One more time, one more time. Lord, I need your divine touch one more time. Lord, I need your divine touch one more time. Oh, so we thank God. That's the voice we call ourselves, voice of roses. Oh, one more time next time. Yeah. We are so thankful for God who turns everything into his own favor. I am here in front of you because of what the journey is bringing us together. It's like life is unpredictable. We just have to learn to go with a flow while we are safe and while we know what our future holds, because we have God who knows our future. I want to share just a little bit. I have watched families when they face nowhere to turn. They have nowhere to turn. I have sat down with women whose spirits were crushed, not with a stranger, but crushed with the hands that were supposed to hold them and to love them. I have watched women who gave their all to keep their marriage, to turn, things were turning against their will. I have also watched men who suffered in the hands of women who they exchange vows like they will be together for the rest of their life. That's what we call domestic violence. When you are dating, when you are in a relationship, you never know anything coming. But that is a journey. Journey, it is a paradox, but God knows why He's allowing those stuff to happen. And also, I have looked into the eye of elders, seniors, who gave their whole life to their families, who devoted their lives to save nation, who devoted their lives to make things happen in this world. But when the sun goes down, they find themselves alone and lonely. Pick Up Roses is a program under my home care agents, which goes beyond activities of daily living. That's why I have these flowers in front of me. Roses, you can see, you will never have a rose without thorns, right? That's life. You cannot, since you are born, you are just a happy camper since you are born until you die. That is not life. Even the beauty of life cannot be there. And if you see roses, there is a lot of colors: white, yellow, pink, red is common. But the knowledge behind these flowers, it's like these thorns, it's like I feel lonely, nobody loves me, I'm anxious, I forgot stuff. All those are the thorns. But we are here to flip the script. Like, no matter what is happening in life, focus on what works. Focus on your life. Focus on positivity. It might be, it is not easy, but it is doable and it pays a lot. Like, even if everybody have both sides, good and bad. So for you to embrace, even in domestic violence, many people, they stay, they assume these thorns will go away, and they don't. There are elders who are vulnerable. They just need something to boost them, but they cannot support themselves. We are here to support them. And not only that, like, what is happening? He didn't do saving or whatever, but as a human being, everybody's different, and we are here. Like, don't concentrate on the thorns, concentrate on the beauty of the flower. And the flowers is when you will feel good when you look into the flower and everything, and leave alone the thorns. So for this time, those who are present now, I just want you to come forward, hold a flower. I'm going to do something here. Just come forward, all of you, we have you. Just come forward, I'm going to give you a flower. So life is about both sides. Today, when we launch our non-profit, Flying Angels of Hope, I'm calling everybody, focus on a flower and leave alone the thorns. Rose is a beautiful flower, but it have thorns. Don't concentrate on what it didn't work. What it didn't, things which are falling, they are not for you. If things are not working, they are not for you. Just let it go. Say, everybody, let it go. Let it go. Pick up roses. Leave alone the thorns. So this is just something which will help us. Nobody will forget this. If you find anybody who is not talking to you, somebody who's gossiping, somebody who's hating you, calling names, don't invest your knowledge, your emotion, your positivity. Just concentrate on a flower. Like, this person is a wonderful guy, is a wonderful lady, no matter what. And that one will help us to have a community of people who care, who love each other. So no matter the relationship, no matter which stage of life you are, I take this for seniors because they feel weak, they forget stuff, they fall. All those things are thorns. But at the end, these people, they lived life. They are blessing to each one of us. So as we launch our non-profit today, we remember rose is a wonderful flower. We concentrate on the top part of a flower, which gives us energy and a smile, and leave alone the thorns. I know we're going to share a QR code. You can donate. This flower will bring, flower will not stay. Like in 3 days, this flower gone, right? But how about the deeds you're going to do? The actions of love. They will be living into people's hearts, people's life. Like how Anna says, I just forgot a letter she wrote to me, 2020, in June 10. She wrote a letter to me, Violet. She gave me all the Bible verses to hold on. And she said, if you need anything, I'm here. If she gave me a flower, that flower will not be there. But she wrote down. And guess what? I have that letter on the wall in my house. Because deeds never die. So as we are starting this non-profit, understand life is about giving. Life of giving never go with sadness. And after saying that, I'm going to give you a book. And when you go home, read it. There are other people. This is my book. I wrote it from the story of my life on how to be positive. How to look beyond fear when the sky is collapsing. That is the title of a book. So it means even in your life, you can be happy. My speech is just around these things I'm talking now. You have to have those 12 mindsets, being unstoppable, being unmovable, being unshakable, unmoved, untwist, unstirred. You are just there. People, they try the life and everything, they try to shake you, be unshakable. But my dear friends, it comes from within. Anything comes from without, it will never stay. So, but anything comes from within. So this book, we're going to go with it. I'm going to sign, and you give a friend who is feeling sad or during any challenges. Just hold this book. How to look beyond fear when your sky is collapsing. You see the sky is beautiful outside, but something may happen. And when it is summer, other people, it is winter into their personal life. So we are here to support each other. And let me give you books so that we may have a picture together. Yeah. You can give a friend, just have a book. Yeah, if you have a friend, take 2 books. All right, so now let's launch this non-profit by lifting flower and a book and say, "Woo!" So this cake is plain. We are not writing anything. We are starting to write today. The journey, most of the time, lunch of wherever. This is a plain, and the room is white. Everything is white, and Flying Angels of Hope is going to be launched this evening. Finally, we launched this non-profit. Flying Angels of Hope is running now. And it's not about Violet Hobokela Mwandenga. It's about you and me. And it's about our community. It takes a village to bring change. It takes you and me. When we put our resources together and bring smile to somebody who needed it most, we are making this world a better place to live. And you will never regret saying yes to this journey, as I'm not regretting. Thank you so much. Lord, you need your divine touch one more time. Lord, you need your divine touch one more time.